Hello and welcome to yet another cast. For you today I have a 2v2 played on Mapgen and the team matchmaker. This map, by the looks of it, it's probably 12.5k. It's very small, possibly even just 11k or something like that. But yeah, let's get into the player introductions, or teams. We have Team 1 on this northern peninsula, Team 2 on the southern one. Team 1 has in Burgundy Red, Colorex, going Cypern, opening first land. And their partner for this game is in normal Red, also going Cypern, also opening first land, Winter. Now, on the southern team, in dark blue, we have this guy. Yes, that's their name. They are this guy. Going Seraphim, opening first land. And north of that, going UEF in normal blue. Also opening first land, we have Old King. Now, the map is quite navy heavy by the looks of it. It has a whole bunch of reclaims scattered around these two peninsulas, I guess. Half islands, whatever you would call them. Not sure what the proper term for that would be. I think it is peninsula, so yeah. Right, I can mark that with that. I actually remembered that. After using it quite a bit for the last cast, but yeah, almost forgot about it again. Other than that, a bit of reclaim spread around everywhere, but not too much. There are two small side islands in the corners. And there's some additional maxes that can be claimed right here in the back. But that's basically it. There's also some maxes on this peninsula, which maybe which could become a contested point. We'll have to see. Right. And Winter moving up with the ACU, actually moving very boldly into the peninsula of the southern team. That would definitely be very annoying to deal with, because that is going to... had to take a sip. That is going to be very annoying by probably killing engineers, maybe stealing some reclaim. And possibly also delaying this guy a bit. That's definitely gonna be that's definitely never gonna be not funny to say this guy, because it's this guy. I don't know why I'm this easily amused. I just am. You gotta have to accept that. In the meantime, winter is coming. I promise the quality of my jokes will be improving. Maybe. Not sure if I'm gonna keep that promise, but I am going to promise that. That's probably more likely that just the amount of jokes is gonna reduce, instead of the quality improving. But I guess everything is better than my jokes, so whatever. Now, some naval factories queued up for this guy, up here, currently 4. Yep. And one naval factory already out for Winter. Winter now storming down, snowing down, whatever. Just bearing down on this guy. This guy right here. I'm sorry. But sometimes the jokes just write themselves. And this is one of those situations. Winter deciding to steal some of the mass. Reclaiming this brick that was right there. Was being the important wood because it has already been reclaimed. They can't even show the other side because it has also been reclaimed there. But yeah, Winter going down into the yellow. After taking quite a bit of fire, but successfully stealing one of these, stealing some of that reclaim. Now a submarine out from Winter is harassing this naval factory. Submarines having that one problem of not being able to kill Seraphim engineers since those are hover, those don't touch the water, and thus torpedoes aren't actually able to kill those. Well, to be fair, submarines do have a deck gun, so Winter would be able to just pull that up above the ground and do it that way. But instead they just decided to go in with the ACU and reclaim the entries. But not before they managed to throw up a torpedo launcher, which has retargeted onto the ACU. That is now taking quite a bit of fire from that, but still at around half HP, so that's probably going to survive. Meantime, more submarines coming out from Winter. And also some frigates now, so those will be able to actually deal with the engines. And a submarine also out from Colorax. Haven't paid too much attention to them yet because, well, they weren't that proactive. They have taken this side island. There was it was originally taken from Old King, but that has already been claimed back. In the meantime, Old King actually managed to claim this side island, so I guess the side islands just switching now. Already having thrown up a 2-1 PD and getting up some a factory. And Corax just capturing the Maxes. Now some damage being put down on that guy from this one Trident. But that guy deciding to just using the ACU to get some damage down onto that just with the cannon. Maybe if I say I'm sorry, I should also try stop doing the stuff I'm sorry about. But I guess the true problem is the fact that I'm not truly sorry about the jokes I'm making. Now, T2 Air has been achieved by Old King. I was looking for on the northern side. It has not been achieved by Colorax. Now again, I have the advantage of hindsight. I am aware of what will be coming, and it's probably, and I consider it to be quite hilarious. But you will see very soon. Winter back in base, currently just regenerating a bit. Would be nice to see something like torpedo upgrade to help against the Navy out from this guy. Wait, is this guy not that guy? Well, it's this guy. Not that guy. I'm sorry. I mean, no, I'm not, but I'm sorry for your pain. I don't know where all these puns or jokes, bad jokes this game come from, because I usually don't make this many, as you may be aware of. I guess there's just not much to talk about, so I guess it's just a good chance to make bad puns and jokes and stuff like that. Now, this guy deciding to go for regen aura, and maybe to regen some of the navy by moving underwater. I'm not sure if that works. I mean, it would be cool if it does, but I mean, I would understand if it doesn't, because that would be quite powerful indeed. Heater power going up for Old King. And let's take a look at economies. Economies are basically even. Yes. How does Reclaim look? Reclaim is in favor of Team 1. Not too surprising, since Winter decided to steal some of the Reclaim that was right here. And there's the torpedo upgrade I was hoping for a bit earlier. Now, going up. and that will be able to cause quite a bit of damage, as Torpedo is a quite powerful upgrade. And while the amount of torpedoes isn't that great, damage that these torpedoes can actually do is quite high. Now we've got a transport out from Old King claiming back their old homeland, or their old land, their old domain, which has been conquered by Colorex. And they are starting to go T2 on the SU. Meantime, Region Aura has finished for this guy. This guy right here. God, the fact that I'm laughing at my own jokes doesn't make it better, does it? And Winter finishes torpedoes. There is a drop going on right here in the back. Luckily I looked in chat just when it happened. And yeah, that is taking out a... that will take out a bunch of T1 Nexus. But honestly nothing too bad. I mean, it's still gonna be annoying, but whatever, right? And now also T3 going up on the AC of Old King. Are they able to afford that? Well, somewhat, I guess. Maybe. Perhaps, possibly. Right, I was confused for a moment. This is Sparky, that's why there was the anti-intelligence range rank. Sparky gets jamming. Okay, it finished. It's halfway finished, so it will probably finish completely. In the meantime, Winter starting to push this position with their commander and his navy. And Old King pointing out their plan for what they want to do, wanting to counter up Red. And well, there isn't a lot of AA to help against that right now. And with Winter also having their ACU currently out of the way, pushing at the position of this guy. Moment, this guy. Not sorry. Sorry. There's also no ACU to help defend that. But the navy of this guy, you would think that it gets old at some point, and it probably does, but not for me. Anyway, the naval production is getting taken out by overwhelming amounts of navy currently out from Winter. Winter just attritioning their opponent. I don't know, I'm running out of jokes. And making jokes with Winter is a bit harder than making jokes about this guy, because this joke literally writes itself. Just to point out that it's this guy. And the commander of Old King just dropped over and made it into main base. There is a Sparky to, I guess, support that, as well as a T1 NG. And there are now just plasma cannons being thrown up, as well as some T1 bombers, some T1 AA to help against the T1 bombers, and these renegades, just preventing any proper air response out from the northern players. Now T2 air has been achieved up here by Colorex, but the amount of PD and AA done here out from Old King is probably enough to dissuade any proper engagement. Okay, factories now queued to start, maybe start some proper production or spam. No, they decided to change their mind apparently, pulling up a T1 PD. Got some stuff, and now actually starting production on these factories, which are thrown up quite quickly since that ACU does have T3. And does have a shit ton of build power. And also a bunch of additional HP is sitting at 15k, which is quite a bit. Of course, having that increased UF base HP pool, as well as the increase from the upgrades. Colorex now going for gun speed and range. And this guy completely thrown out of Navy now. With Colorex actually having some destroyers out. Completely missed that. Which are now starting to take out the base of Old King. Though Old King seems to be making a new home for themselves. And now throwing up a flare. A SAM site to just prevent any proper air engagement. Fair enough. But there is now also a cruiser out from Winter starting to bombard the stuff that Old King started to take. There are some triads now being thrown up, taking out a bunch of stuff, mostly PD, not mostly PD, mostly just some X's. But now also targeting down this PD under the shield, as it is actually in range of that. But again, with the fact that the ACU is at T3, it is able to build even T2 PD at a high rate. Now, due to the Salem, the main base of Old King is basically gone. But I mean, they are making a new home right here in the base that once belonged to Winter. But the Winter has left, and thus it is time for Spring to come. I guess in this case also a new kingdom to come with the new year or something like that, I don't know. I shouldn't even try to make jokes because it's not going well, but I can't help myself, okay? You just gotta have to deal with that. In the meantime, Winter in a bad situation as they don't have proper air coverage, and there are a whole bunch of torp bombers now just on that ACU, targeting it down, and well, landing at sits. And with that, the ACU is down to around 450 HP, 500 HP, and that's basically only one more pass of torp bomber, and that would be that. I was about to say that there are however no longer any torp bombers, but there are some new ones right here. And if that doesn't get, what did it? It was two things that landed. It did not get a drop off. Okay. So for now, Winter actually survives against all odds. Still, the main base of Old King has been completely taken out. Their position on the mainland is basically completely dead. And they are just living in the base of Winter now. Though their economy is probably looking horrible. Well, not even that bad. Did they take some X or also just overflow out from this guy? Sorry? This guy. I don't see any maxes currently being claimed, so probably just overflow. Wait, they also have this stuff up here, so that's some additional stuff. But Winter, no longer having a base, decided to just bow out. Fair enough, as it is hard to play without base. Now, economy is looking heavily in favor of the southern team, with this guy pulling in more eco than Colorex. Not too surprising, as Colorex is losing their main base to this push out from the Old King, taking back what was once theirs, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't try to make jokes like that if I don't know, if I can't think of anything good. But I am, so it is happening. But that leaves Corax right here in this pond, starting to make landfall in this area, pulling up with a T2 energy to just build some factories up right here. And those with that may actually be enough to make landfall, to make proper landfall. This guy is okay. They are starting to get some shielding, some defenses, some T2RT. That will start to take out the stuff that, well, that currently still belongs to Colorax, but soon will no longer belong to them, as it is just under threat from these Linkhammers. And currently just a whole bunch of reclaim. They are currently just using a whole bunch of reclaim to keep their economy afloat. As their actual mass production is looking at this very, very humble. But they are making quite a bit of reclaim. Though this guy is currently not overflowing, so that's not a source of income. And both players actually power scoring quite heavily. I mean, I can understand why the old king would be stalling power, considering the fact that they have. Well, never mind, it's 2 T2P gens, so not that bad. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Maybe just building a whole bunch of stuff takes power. I mean, that's what you would expect. I think I was about to say that there is an raider, but never mind, there's actual raider out right here. So is the old king aware of what's going on? Not really, because it's outside of radar range. Well, that radar isn't that effective in that case. Now, while the land is basically under complete control of the southern team, the Navy seems to be looking like the complete opposite, with most of it being in the hand of Colorax. Colorax also having some T2 Navy, something that the southern team currently does not have. They currently have a slight bit of T1 production, but that's it. And the landing of the up here has been very successful, with these now starting to produce some T1 spam, which is starting to take ground. In the meantime, this guy deciding to use some top bombers to try and to win the Navy. But with these cruisers, I don't think that's gonna be too effective. As cruisers, of course, have some pretty decent AA coverage. Thank you, Rory, for following me. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, this is streamed live. Link to that will be as per usual in the description. I'm gonna get back to that in the outro though. Anyway. I was about to talk about something, I think. Great, Rory, you completely distracted me. How amazing. Yeah, I don't know what I want to talk about. Well, I guess Old King is taking more of the ground up here, now rebuilding these maxes at T2. And also getting some tactical missile launchers that are getting quite a bit of value. Also moving up the ACU right up here. I think that may have been dropped up there. But with more PD being thrown up, that position is basically lost for Colorax. With the air factories also not long for this world. So a very, very effective common drop. Now in the meantime, Colorax actually decided to move their commander down here to the south, onto the South Island. This guy currently facing off the spam armies of Colorax, and probably also about to face off the ACU, which does have stealth and guns, so it's quite scary for the ACU that currently only has a regen aura, which is basically useless because there isn't much to regen with, or much to regen. Well, there are the T1 bombers flying overhead, but with limited range I don't think that's too valuable. Okay, Colorax deciding to pull back for now. But, well, there is still this massive spam production that will probably still cause some issues for this guy. And that commander, again, having stealth and gun is also something to not be underestimated. This guy currently apparently not able to spend their mass, deciding to send quite a bit of that over to Old King. They can probably use that to just rebuild the position up here, taking over that island. And this guy moving into a corner, something you really want to avoid because corners aren't great for your survival. And they have the problem of not giving you any space to actually fall back to. Okay, I currently can't see any E-storage out for Colorax, so I don't think there's the ability to overcharge for them. Well, maybe there would be if they still had their main base. But that's not really a thing right now. And some Salems now just making landfall again. And firing down upon the ACU of this guy. This guy right here. And also Salems making landfall from the other side, taking out the main base of this guy. Right here. Which, again, is another unfortunate development. Also there was some T1 arty that has that stunned the production here for a bit, but I guess it has been taken out already. But yeah, with the Salems having made landfall and quite a bit of veterancy looking at them, that is not looking too hot for Colorax, not for Colorax, for this guy. Again, I'm not sorry for making this joke. The fact that I was saying that I'm sorry for it was probably lying earlier. But well, again, it's a joke writing itself. The Salems now retargeting onto the ACU, but the ACU right on that. Quite close, probably able to actually kill that. Well, saying that, the Salems have more HP combined than the ACU. I'm pretty sure they may also have more DPS. So that ACU may go down to Salem fire. Especially if the other Salem also starts taking some of the damage. Spreading the damage out between the two Salems. Yeah, the ACU actually does go down to Salem fire. This guy becoming a nuclear mushroom cloud. And I guess now we can no longer talk about this guy, because this guy is no longer to be pointed at. Well, we can talk about this crater. Just act as if that crater was them. I mean, which would probably be fair, because the three remaining atoms of that commander are probably spread around in this crater. In the meantime, the base that once belonged to Colorax up here on the northern plateau, or northern island, has been basically completely taken over by Old King, while Colorax is currently still in the process of taking over this base. So I guess I should reintroduce the players. We have the northern team right here at the top as Team 2, and the southern team right here in the south as Team 1. And for the southern team we have Colorax and Burgundy Red and Old King right here in blue. Why am I like this? Why? I don't know. I just felt it was an appropriate thing to do because, well, the position of the teams has changed. Anyways, these cruisers out from Colorax now firing upon this peninsula where once was a whole bunch of reclaim. That has now been claimed by Old King. or is now on Old King's new island. Old King still holding on to some of the infrastructure down here. And having just achieved T3 air, though I'm not sure how long left that actually is, with a whole bunch of mantis right here pulling in, that may not actually be too long lived. Well, never mind. There's a whole bunch of Wolfus that are probably gonna defend that. Now, these maxes are being retaken. And currently, T2 production. There are T2 energies, but I think those may be that may be the T2 energy that originally built the factories up here that moved up. The original air factories for Colorex have now died, so no longer, well, I was about to say no longer any holdings on the island, but I'd be lying, there is still the stuff. And the stuff. But they rebuilt their HQ right here, on that side island. And they have also retaken the southern side island as well. Now, the existence of T3 air could be a slight issue for Colorex, since that allows the construction of strat bombers, which could, in the current situation, probably just completely deny the recapture of, or the retaking of this island. Well, maybe not the retaking, but the taking in the first place. Something that would be very unfortunate to see. Now, naval production being put back up right here for Old King with those Seraphim energies. Also some T2 top launchers put up just to have some longer range defenses, though that's not too effective against Salem's and Sirens, as those still outrange the torpedo launchers. In the meantime, cruisers still being used to have some additional firepower up here. And I was about to check if that was going to make landfall, but it doesn't, okay. In the meantime, the Navy down here being used to take out the naval production out from Old King again. And though these useless top launchers are actually quite effective at dealing damage to these destroyers if they move into range, firing off quite a few torpedoes. Is that? I think they may actually be launching most of the torpedoes from above ground. Huh. Good to know. Anyway. In the meantime, some T2RT has been thrown up right here on the shoreline, I guess in order to help defend the naval production. And some more spam is now being sent up in an attempt to take out this position and maybe also more importantly this AHQ. But with the support of the T2PD right here, that is probably not going to work out. How are economies looking? Economies are 117 against 164. Honestly surprising that the economies are that high. But Colorex still having a bit of a tech disadvantage, being facing off against a player with access to tier 3. Both here right now at least, though I suspect that HQ will probably die very soon. And also down here on that ACU and another T3 air HQ. That one is for UEF then. Sorry if I'm a bit more quiet, I'm starting to get a bit tired, so yeah. It's harder for me to stay focused. Anyway, more Sirens thrown up for Colorex. Fair enough, since they don't have air control and their opponent does have T3 air. cruisers seem like a very reasonable response, just to get some AA coverage. The main part of this island now actually being fully claimed by Colorax. And the mexes right here that once belonged to Colorax are now starting to be taken out by the Slinkhammers. Now, there is some additional RT right here that is firing. What can that actually hit? Well, not too much. It can hit right up here. For this line. So yeah, it can basically it can wither away at some spam, but not too much. Okay. Cruisers just used as mobile air denial zones. There was this transport right here that's still sinking. Just flew overhead and I guess got shot down by the cruiser. So their job as mobile AA coverage is being fulfilled quite effectively. But I think it's still pretty obvious to say where this... Oh, never mind, Colorax is actually on eco now. For around 10 mass income. I was about to say it's pretty obvious where this game is going, but... Now at this 1v1 stage, they are both teams actually still basically even on their mass incomes. And Colorax is building a Monkey Lord right here. Secretly on that side island. Is Old King aware of that? Well, they are aware, or he is aware, that something is being built right here, but they aren't aware what is being built. And there's actually a T3 out for Colorax as well now, on the side island as well. The side island being, I guess, a lot safer than this main island, since Old King does not have any position on this, right there. And with the naval protection right here as well, it's easier to just defend it against naval pushes, maybe coming. Speaking of Navy, T2 Navy has finally been achieved for Old King. Now just building some destroyers. Though I don't think those will be too useful against a overwhelming amount of cruisers. Well, maybe if they submerge, since the since cruisers don't have the ability to since cruisers don't have torpedoes and thus can't fire against submerged units. But while they are above ground, they are still able to be hit by these cruisers, and those can, and most likely will, cause heavy damage to these destroyers. Now, in the meantime, we have a Salem right here that has now started walking up on land and is starting to take out some of the stuff or the 9 area. And is now actually starting to hit this base that formerly belonged to Colorax and now belongs to Old King. I don't know, maybe taking it back to Colorax? I mean, I doubt it, because it's one Salem that is being shot at by this transport, as well as the Slinkhammers. So it's probably not going to be too effective. But as I suspected, these destroyers easily taken out by the cruisers. However, a lot of destroyers actually being built up. We've got 7 more right here. But yeah, there is a lot of build power on that, so again, no wonder that that's being built up quite quickly. In the meantime, the Monkey Lord actually finished and it's moving on right here. Now the Monkey Lord is stuffed. That means that there will be Omni required to actually see it, and well, there is no Omni right now. So Old King has no idea of what's coming. other than the fact that I believe they may not even have sonar coverage, which would also be suboptimal, but not very helpful in detecting a Monkey Lord, so whatever. Ah, never mind. They can see this stuff, so they probably have some sort. Right, they have an Omni right here, right down here that can spot all of that, but that's not gonna help against the Monkey Lord. Sorry, I pointed out. Monkey Lord is pulling in into this position, and think. Okay, there is now the Navy pushing out from Old King, but I think we can speed it up a bit. Because I'm pretty sure most of you can now also see where this is going. The Sirens right here and are now starting or are helping to defend against these destroyers. Maybe not as effective as they should be, but effective enough to keep that back, and the monkey has landed. Is starting to march forward. The broadswords that have been built up are being taken out. Monkey is proceeding forward and has reached the main base, and Old King is now dying to that. Right, with that Colorex, and I guess by extension also Winter as the originally Northern team win, and the originally Southern team that still has some holdings in the South, I guess, loses. There were some base trades, not trade bases, going on. I hope you enjoyed this cast. This was streamed live on Twitch. Link to that will be, as per usual, in the description below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, I don't know, like if you want. There will be more casts going up, of course, if you want to be notified when those go up, or find my channel again more easily, you can always subscribe. And yeah, if you have some feedback to give, you can just write that in comments. I don't know, some things that you think I could improve, some things I did well, whatever. And till next time, whether that be on stream or on another cast. See you again then, and bye!